What's up, everybody? Welcome to DFS by the Numbers. This is my breakdown and prediction video for UFC 249 main event, Tony Ferguson versus Justin Gaethje. Alright guys, welcome back from a 3-week break. It feels like it's been a lot longer than that, but we finally have UFC back. Dana White just announced that Tony Ferguson versus Justin Gaethje is 100% on, so I'm really excited for that. It's going to be a crazy fight. Before we start the video though, if you guys can leave a like, also subscribe if you haven't yet, really appreciate that. Just hit 1,000 subscribers about a month ago, so thank you guys for that as well. Let's keep growing my channel. I'm trying to get to 2,000 subscribers soon, so if you guys can help me out, hit the subscribe button. Let's get to 2,000. But yeah, I'm really excited for this fight. Tony Ferguson, Justin Gaethje. It was supposed to be, as we know, Tony Ferguson versus Khabib, but that did not fall through. And I do think this fight's going to be more entertaining than the Khabib-Ferguson fight was, due to the fact that I think this is going to be on the feet most of the time, if not all the time. So it's going to be a really good fight. Both these guys are very exciting fighters. I like both these guys quite a bit, so it's going to be really, really good fight here. So I already had tape done and research done on Tony Ferguson. I did the same thing with Khabib. Like I said, it's a shame that fell through, but just had to research Gaethje, tape Gaethje, and ready to get this video out for you guys. So with that said, let's start it up. All right, so we'll start with Tony Ferguson here. He is 25-3. He's on a 12-fight win streak. He's 5'11" with a 76-inch reach compared to Gaethje's. I believe he has a 70-inch reach. He is 36 years old, so he is getting up there in age. That's why we all kind of wanted him to fight Khabib now rather than holding off and fighting him later in the future, because we are not sure if that's going to happen or not. So finishes, he's won by knockout 48% of the time. He's won by submission 32% of the time. And he's won by decision 20% of the time. Either guy, whoever wins this fight, I think it's going to be by a finish. Most likely a knockout, or I can see maybe Ferguson getting a sub late in the fight. Something like that, but I don't think this fight's going to be won by a decision. So striking stats for Tony Ferguson, he lands 5.51 significant strikes per minute, which is pretty good. 44% striking accuracy. He absorbs 3.55 significant strikes per minute with a 63% striking defense, which is great. He has that length on him. Grappling, he averages 0.6 takedowns for 15 minutes. Not much of a wrestler. 42% takedown accuracy, and then a 76% takedown defense as well. So I think this fight's going to be on the feet most likely, so we don't really have to worry about that. Last 3 fights, he finished Donald Cerrone with a doctor stoppage. We remember Donald's eye was like huge, puffed up. He blew his nose and just puffed up even more. It was pretty disgusting, actually, but he got that. And then he finished Anthony Pettis with a corner stoppage, and then he submitted Kevin Lee in the 3rd round. And then notable wins, Donald Cerrone 2019, Kevin Lee 2017, Rafael dos Anjos 2016. Notable losses, Michael Johnson, but that was in 2012. And as for Justin Gaethje, he's 21-2. He's on a 3-fight win streak. He's 5'11" with a 70-inch reach, so he's at like a 6-inch reach disadvantage. He's 31 years old, fighting out of Elevation Fight Team, which is the same camp as Curtis Blades, Corey Sandhagen, Drew Dober. So lots of good things going on over there right now. Finishes, he's won by knockout 85% of the time, submission 5% of the time, and decision 10% of the time. So like I said, most likely if this is finished, if this fight's going to finish. Striking, he lands 8.5 significant strikes per minute, so he puts on a crazy pace throughout the fight as long as it lasts. 54% striking accuracy. He does absorb 10.23 significant strikes per minute, which is insane. And he has a 53% striking defense. As for grappling, he averages 0 takedowns for 15 minutes. He does not go for takedowns whatsoever. With the 80% takedown defense, pretty good takedown defense there. Last 3 fights, he knocked out Donald Cerrone in the 1st round, knocked out Edson Barbosa in the 1st round, and knocked out James Vick in the 1st round. And I was on Gaethje heavy in all 3 of those fights, so he's really been a money train for me his past couple fights. Some notable wins for Justin Gaethje is Donald Cerrone 2019, Edson Barbosa 2019, and Michael Johnson 2017. Some notable losses, Dustin Poirier 2018 and Eddie Alvarez 2017. Both of those he was finished, I believe in round 3 for Poirier and then round 4 and for Alvarez. So Tony Ferguson, he's dangerous anywhere the fight goes. If he gets taken down, absolutely fine off his back. He's extremely dangerous off his back. Cardio will never be an issue for Tony Ferguson. Has elite cardio. He's pretty durable, but he does get dropped a lot, which is concerning in this fight particularly. But he does have good recoverability. He's been training for the Khabib fight, which we obviously would have been much different, but he's ready. He had a full camp, and he can break you down throughout the fight. And we've seen Justin Gaethje broke down before and finished in the later rounds. Justin Gaethje hits like a truck. We've seen his past 3 fights, 3 knockouts in a row all in the first round. He brings insane pressure. He's won 85% of the time by knockout. He's a finisher. Coming in this fight on short notice, which has me very worried if I was to pick him. And then he's pretty easy to hit. He absorbs over 10 significant strikes per minute, which is also very concerning against a guy like Tony Ferguson. And he has questionable cardio, especially considering this fight is on short notice, so it's going to be interesting to see how his cardio does hold up, and pretty worried about that as well. And he does have a wrestling background, but he never chooses to use it. We don't know why, but he wants to stand and bang. So as for my prediction, I'm going to go with Tony Ferguson with a 4th round knockout. I have been going back and forth on this ever since the fight's been announced, but I think this fight is going to stay on the feet. I don't really see Gaethje going for takedowns. I don't really see Ferguson going for takedowns. I am worried about Gaethje's cardio, like I said. If this gets into round 3, 4s, and 5, very worried about Gaethje's cardio and how it will hold up there. I'm also a little worried about Ferguson's chin as well, and I won't be surprised if he gets dropped early, probably the first round. But like I said, he has really good recoverability, so I wouldn't be surprised if he was able to weather that storm and end up taking over late. I just think Gaethje is a little too hittable, and Tony's length is going to give him some problems. I can see Ferguson breaking Gaethje down as the fight goes on and eventually taking him out, as we saw Poirier and Eddie Alvarez do. Gaethje's 2 losses have been in round 3 and round 4. If Gaethje had a full camp, I would still favor Ferguson, but really slightly. I think the line would be closer to a pick'em. Like I said, if Tony can survive the first round and a half, I think that's where Gaethje's going to be most dangerous. I think Tony will take this win here. And as for the line, the fight is close, but I got to agree with Tony being the slight favorite. Minus 165 seems fair. He had a full camp. He's ready to go. Everything should be on point. If Gaethje had a full camp, the line would probably be a pick'em, but I still would lean Ferguson there. So that's my prediction. I think Ferguson's going to finish Gaethje. I think the pressure and the pace is going to be too much. I don't think Gaethje can keep that crazy pace that he keeps for all 5 rounds. So first of all, I don't think this fight's going 5 rounds. I'd be very, very surprised if it does. I just see Ferguson breaking him down, taking him out in the 3rd or 4th round here. So give me Ferguson for the win by a knockout. And but would I be surprised if Gaethje comes out here and starches Ferguson in the first round? No, that's what he does, and we've seen Ferguson drop before. But I just think that he'll weather that storm and end up getting Gaethje out of there, and then hopefully goes and fights Khabib in the near future. So as for betting goes, might not be a bad idea if you want to bet Ferguson to also hedge with Gaethje winning in the round 1, because I think if Gaethje does win, it will probably be in round 1. But personally, I don't really want to bet a side here, but I think if I did have to bet a side, it'd be Ferguson. I am going to look out for the fight does not go to decision, because I would be pretty surprised if this went 5 rounds. It'd be crazy if it went 5 rounds. So hopefully there's a good line on that. Maybe a parlay piece. If the line's good enough, maybe bet it straight. Gaethje has only been to decision 2 times in 23 fights. And then Ferguson has been to decision 6 times in 28 fights, so I don't really think this fight's going to be going to decision, especially with both their styles combined. It's probably not going to go to decision. So I will be interested in making a bet on Ferguson if the line gets a little bit closer, minus 165. If it can get to minus 130, minus 125, or even closer to a pick'em for some reason, I'll definitely hop on that. But this fight is really close, and that first round, if I had a bet on Ferguson, that first round would be extremely scary. But I think that reach is definitely going to give Gaethje some problems. So I'm going to go with Tony Ferguson. Am I confident in it? No, I've been more confident in other picks, but this fight is close. You got to go with the guy, the 12-fight win streak, the full camp, compared to the guy on a couple weeks short notice. You got to go with the guy with the full camp, and that he's on a huge win streak. But this fight is going to be a fire fight here. This fight might be fight of the year, in contention for fight of the year, other than Joanna and Weili Zhang. But man, this fight is going to be so good, and I'm really looking forward to it. All right, guys, that's about it. Make sure you guys look out for my full card predictions coming sometime next week, and then also my DraftKings breakdown. Make sure you subscribe so you do not miss out. Put on that notification bell so you get my videos right away. And make sure you like this video if you enjoyed it. Also, subscribe if you haven't yet. Let me know who you guys got. Looking around, I think I see probably more people on Ferguson, but I do see some people on Gaethje as well. So let me know what you think. This fight is very close. Really looking forward to it, and good luck, guys, if you have any bets, and see you.